Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you have the Emperor card. It's funny because Leo had this as well, and this has been happening for a while now, where Leo and Virgo have got the same key to the week card. There's like a little bit of a tandem following going on at the moment. So before I get into that, if you haven't seen it, please don't forget to check out the eclipse video that I put out. It's a really important one because the eclipses are not events. Yes, the eclipse happens on a specific day at a specific time, but they are a process. They're things that unpack over the next 3 to 6 months. So you want to make sure you're getting the info out of those. And also the midpoint magic and madness. When we're in between eclipses, things can tend to get a little bit weird, and so for that reason it's really important that you watch this video, because as we get to the end of this week on the 8th, we are literally at that midpoint, and you know, you'll want to watch it, trust me. And then obviously stay tuned for the Scorpio lunar eclipse video that will be coming out very soon. With that said, for your Emperor card, in a lot of ways I kind of feel like this is you pulling rank. So this might be a week where, and you know, this has come up for you guys before over the course of this year, I believe, where you're having to really kind of put things, places, or even some of your own personal world. But I think this is like a restructuring in that you're having to put everything in its right place of importance. So, you know, Virgos, yes, all right, you like to, you know, to eat well and all the rest of it, but it's not necessarily finance driven. They're not like really money driven. Whereas this could be that you're starting to put or recategorize all the different parts of your lives in different ways. So this could be where you're putting more emphasis on your money, or maybe you're putting more emphasis on your family, or maybe you're putting more emphasis on, I don't know, your education. It's like you're restructuring things and you're making the things that are important to you now really important to you now. For those of you that are continued subbies, you know I love you for it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options, you've got the 10 of Swords. So for some of you, this could literally be the release or the letting go of something that you don't feel has a place anymore. So like I said, you're putting everything in its right space and level of importance in your life, but this could be that you're literally letting something go. For some of you, this could be a bust up with a boss, very possible. For some of you, this could also be a bust up or a completion or an ending with a father figure or somebody that sort of has that role in your life. It could just as easily be that you are releasing or letting something go or laying something to rest, that you kind of feel, you know what, this just isn't important anymore, whatever that might be. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Devil card. Coupled with the Emperor, this could be a person in a position of authority, please don't let it be you, that is either acting out of their integrity or is kind of revealed to be a bit of a power-hungry monster. The Emperor in its worst expression can be a bully or a tyrant. You couple that then with the Devil card, this is somebody that gets off on having power over others. I know Virgos, you know, well enough to know that they do not like that behavior, and when they see it, they will call it out big time. So this could be, you know, a touch wood where some of you really do decide, because that 10 of Swords could see you on the warpath as well. This could be a week where you see something or you hear something and you're like, no, I can't, I won't stand for that, and you kind of let rip. Just be sure that this isn't going to be damaging for you in some way, shape or form, okay? So watch out for that. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, Again, this could be a professor, it could be a lecturer, it could be, a teacher, maybe. Like, this could be a time where you're connecting to or interacting with someone that really does sort of like to be that smug I am. And I can't stand people like that. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out for a lot of you. For those of you that are working for somebody else, again, this could be a bust up with a boss that could be really quite explosive, so watch out for that. And to be honest with you, because the Devil card is in the communications and conversations, it's like there's nothing that you're going to say that somebody else hasn't thought of saying. It's just likely to be, with this combination of cards, that you end up being the mouthpiece for what everybody else has wanted or needed somebody else to say. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is somewhat contrary, and it could be a little trickier. This could be an accusation that comes up about or against you. I'm going to say it's unfounded, and with that Ten of Swords in your actions and options, it's like you're putting a stop to that, like almost immediately, which, damage control, absolutely. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, this could be something that you observe as an innocent bystander, that you're kind of like, oh, no, really, nobody else is saying anything, nobody else is going to do anything about this. And at that point, most Virgos will be like, right, okay, well, if nobody's going to do anything about it, then I will step into the lead-in shoes. But unless I absolutely have to, I will avoid that kind of limelight. I don't think you'll have that luxury this week. It may also be for some of you that you are challenging. If you have children and grandchildren, this could be a challenge between you and your child, because you kind of look at how they're treating your grandchildren and you're like, no, I've got to step in here. I don't know how to say this, but I'm going to say this as delicately as I can. If that is the case, just make sure you're not throwing any stones from a glass house, okay? That being said, I'm a big believer that we should, allow people we should forgive people and allow them to move beyond where they once were. You're going to have to really kind of observe, all right, what can and can't be said here. So it's going to be delicate operations. For your love and relations, you have the Chariot card. Okay, so love looks good, relationship looks good. Try not to bring this. I mean, for some of you, it might be with a partner that you're, having this bust up. It is a possibility. Just because of the combination of cards. But the Chariot card suggests that as quickly as it blows up is as quickly as it will blow over. But if you are in a relationship, be prepared to maybe have either a tough conversation or to have a consideration about what may be a blind spot of yours. For those of you, and the reason I say this is it's like you've got to try not to bring that aggression into the relationship, because it'll escalate. The Chariot card is very fast, very quick, and when it's left unchecked, what does it end up as? The Tower. So watch out for this. For those of you that are single, I mean, it's not that you couldn't meet someone or that you couldn't date this week. It's just they're going to be dating your shadow side. I gotta be honest. And yes, the shadow side of all of us can be sexy and sensual and delectable, but it can also, if unchecked, it's kind of, can burn everything to the ground. And if someone's just attracted to just that aspect of you, you do have to kind of ask the question of, is this somebody that I actually want to be around or connected to that only seems to like that part of me? It says a lot about the destructive tendencies that they may have. For your money and materials, you've got the Five of Swords. So this could be a challenge around finances as well. So it might be that the issue that comes up is an issue of financial, I don't want to go as far as to say abuse, but I'm going to. It could also be, so for those of you that are partnered, this could be you and your partner want to spend money on different things, and it's creating a bit of a tension. That this could also be for some of you, maybe you discover something in the workplace and then you realize, like, hang on a sec, how is it that everybody else is on a different hourly rate or is on more money than I am, and I'm the only person that isn't and didn't know about it? It could be something like that. It doesn't have to be. but there may be challenges around the money this week. Watch out for that, especially if you're needing to interact with a financial institution or authority. Finally, for those of you that, for all of you, should I say, your physical health and vitality, just because you've got the Devil card above it and the Emperor, I would say that this is likely to be things like headaches and or skin problems and issues. For those of you, especially things like irritation. And then for your home and environment, it may not necessarily be coming from inside the home. It might be just outside of it, but there is it looks to me that there's a lot of tension in the air for you guys this week, and I just want you to be conscious of that so that you don't get sucked into it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care of yourselves, my dear Virgos, and I will speak to you soon.